Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Tim Janis. So glad to have you here today on this beautiful day out in the mountains. So today I want to talk about, here it is, ready? Technology, why it matters. If you have thoughts about this as I talk about it, please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. So I had 5 ideas about technology and why it matters. So first, I think with technology, one is adding to your life. Does it add to your life or does it take away from your life? I think that's something new, that I feel like technology's come along and to me, it's always been like, oh, cool, cell phone, wow, like that was a while ago, right? But you can keep in touch anywhere. And I was always kind of like, I kept it. I never stayed glued to it. And I was kind of slow to go to iPhones. Um, I don't always like to be reached, and but I love having to be able to watch YouTube and to record ideas, and so then I got really into that, and so that was great. And so I think you try to look at technology and how it adds to your life. Obviously, things like nowadays, like artificial music that's created, does not add to my life. I'm not interested in it. I love being creative. I'm sure if you're an artist or anything else, like it's part of our human expression, and it doesn't really add to me, for me, and because that's my joy, is being creative. So that might be a new time in this world of technology advancement, like where everything new that comes out is not just going to add to your life. And I'm meaning that on a personal level. Like, I don't know how it works globally, but on a personal level, like I'm a little more like, I'll take that. I don't really want that, and that's kind of different. Another thing is, don't lose, this is number 2, don't lose yourself in the technology. Like, don't let it control you. Keep your space. Being here in the mountains and all this beauty, as I disconnect and just sort of, feel closer to nature than civilization, um, you really can see how the distractions of technology sometimes aren't beneficial. I remember I landed on the airplane and I was flying somewhere, and I don't usually look at Instagram. It's not really something I do much, but I turned it on. Something kind of horrific popped right up. It was probably AI fake, but it was disturbing. And I'm like, wow, that just made me feel crummy, and I'm like, I didn't want that. I liked, like when I read books, I knew how it was going to make me feel. And with YouTube, if you turn on a channel that you like, that's just like watching TV. You watch a creator because you know how they'll make you feel. And so I think, not losing yourself into all the technology. And that may happen if you scroll, you might see, like I did, something that you don't want to see. And it might take you in a place you don't want to go. So, being selective, and things like that. I think number 3 is keeping it real, and I think as an artist, when I first started my YouTube channel and people would comment on my videos, and this was years ago, like I had to write them back. I could not write them back. And if you're on my channel or any of my channels, you'll know that we return our messages, and I see your messages. And that's what I think that's keeping it real, because you're real people, I'm real people. And yeah, we use YouTube, which is a digital, way to communicate, but it is connecting with us. It is connecting us around the world, which is kind of cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. You couldn't do that in the past. And so finding technology that keeps it real, I think, that keeps you human and those that you're interacting with human. I think that's important. I'm not saying it's one size fits all, but it's something to keep in mind. I think it's important, and I want to go out and play. I actually started my career. I used to play in malls and craft shows. I performed out live for about 10 years straight. Every weekend, I toured around this country. I toured around the U.S. 5 times, long tours, 3 months. So I did a lot of meeting people in person, which I enjoyed so much. And now that I communicate with you digitally, it allows me to be a little more, in nature and quiet. But I do want to get out too and play some and keep it real. And then I think another thing is number 4 is every now and then to evaluate things and what's really working for you. And I had that recently where, like on YouTube, I'd listen to certain things that, they were really great as distractions, which, I've talked about before how distractions can make you happy, but, maybe I'm in a place where it's hard to connect to nature and I'm like, oh, I could really use a distraction. But I found out that those distractions were actually, you know, kind of robbing me of my peace, and I knew it, and I'd keep watching, about a certain topic that was, ooh. But then eventually I was like, no, you know what? I can't do that because, we're all made differently and we can all handle different things, like some things we're really good at handling, some things we're not so good at handling. And those are our strengths and weakness. So finding those things that keep it real. And the last thing is go back, every now and then, just go back to nature, go back to that place where you find peace and just unplug for everything so you can like reevaluate everything. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. Peace.